more to a finite level in terms of people in this whole vast creation, and asking the question, is our DNA goo?
Yes, it is this exact manifestation of substance. So, like the spectrum of the rainbow has different colors, this manifestation of existence, of life, has different colors. And so, for us, we have this red blood, which is linked to this earth and the technology that has been administered on this earth to create the matrix. So the matrix was created by the inner earth beings. Those inner earth beings originate from red goo planet. So from that red blue planet, everything on this planet is created with that different blood.
And now take a look at what is humanity's purpose.
Humanity's purpose the entire existence of creation is just meant to exist, simply exist. When you take it down to that level of having a purpose, everyone is operating in their purpose as needed. The concept of ascension isn't exactly necessary, because the entire universe and the duality of universe is being moved naturally through the progressions of evolution as a whole. The only way that this can be stopped is by a complete imbalance between this universal construct. When we look at it right now and what we're doing in this duality, this existence of a lower vibration, which is pertinent to this galaxy and this entire universe, when we look at that in this reality, survival, ascension, movement out of this is our focus, because that is the natural progression of evolution within our cycle. So everyone inside of this duality of the infinity is constantly working on expansion, on evolving and evolution, on ascension. As we shift from this side to the other existence of the duality, to the creation, when we are on the other side, we are focusing on experiencing. And it goes back and forth from one side to the other on this loop of ascension, of duality. We are existing purely within this construct of duality, because that's what we are made out of. We are made out of duality.
Yes.
We shift back and forth interdimensionally. That's what that means. So when we achieve a certain level of ascension and we die, energetically we are being brought into the other side of the duality, which is what we believe is source, and then we start living a life there within that duality, and then we can come back and we come forth, back and forth, experiencing both sides, because that is, we live in this existence.
And when we come back, to this part of the duality is that when we may take on a different form, a different physical form.
Yes.
A different life.
We have the ability to take on a different life, a different race. There is no set structure on where you need to be based on experience and evolution of your own existence. But it's not as if there is a race. It's just which side of that duality do you want to experience? And within this evolution, because we are evolving regardless, whether we like it or not, because we are a part of this constant movement of evolution that cycles up into the highest. It's just infinite. It's infinite. It's just infinite evolution that moves in cycles vibrationally. So, yes. Each one of the beings is just a part of duality.
Each one of the beings is part of the duality?
Yes, each one of the beings holds within it duality and lives in duality, so they can decide which side of the spectrum to take, which side of the spectrum to experience during that time.
And let's take a look now at the hybrids. And what is the purpose of the hybrids being here now?
Hybrids are an interesting vibration. Hybrids are the allowance of a larger particle of the duality here in this matrix universe. Hybrids hold a higher vibration because they were able to bring back more of that white source duality back. So to put it in terms that we can understand, their source soul is fragmented with different aspects of the universe, but hold larger fragments of source within them. That's why their vibration can manipulate and can show different beings, different races, different expressions of this duality. That's why they are interdimensional beings, because they are operating on more than one level at a time. They are communicating with their races that they have within their information, within their DNA. But at the same time, they are communicating with the duality, with source. Because on that other end, there's the exact replica of this existence, but on an expansive level. So they are working interdimensionally on both realities at the same time. Source existence and the matrix universe has this, they're mirroring each other. It's just two possibilities. That's when we understand dimensions. We are going in and out of the same dimension. So what's occurring is that these infinity loops are spinning so fast that dimensions can merge. And when these infinity loops spin fast, they create something that looks like cells or planets even. So when it spins, then that's why we have different, that's why there's always I can't explain this, it's just too much. It spins and occurring at the same time as it's spinning on both dualities. So going down to the planet Earth, having experiences, having a timelines, having all those things. There's also a Earth on the other, on the white side, on the on source side, that's experiencing the exact same thing. So this infinity loop is spinning constantly so fast that it creates a spherical shape. And that spherical shape is where we start to create a nucleus of energy, of life force. The actual spinning of this entire infinity is what causes life to even exist within itself. So when we're here on this planet, we're experiencing life, and we are shifting interdimensionally between, let's say, what we can understand as the good and the bad, when actually it's experiencing itself through these things. And as it's spinning, it's going through an ascension cycle. So everything within its creation thinks that it must ascend or move up. And that's because the entire organism is moving up through an ascension. It's all movement. It's just the natural demand of that existence, the organic. It's just the way it was made to work. It was the way it was made to operate naturally. So these hybrids are here as interdimensional beings, but holding a larger manifestation of source soul within them. And they are operating here with beings on our very small existence, on our small scale of existence. Existing. If you bring it down to our level of understanding, to our perception, then we can say that they are here helping us understand the larger scale of our existence.
Yes.
Because we are merging and transcending limitations of our perception. And that's what they are here to do. We need to give them a purpose, if we need to give ourselves purpose. Yes.
Okay, and they have the opportunity to know about these other aspects.
Yes.
Is that right? Whereas most people don't
Yes.
have that opportunity.
Yes, that's correct. Now, there is something that's interesting in this existence. The reason why they have the opportunity to do that is because vibrationally they have shifted within them.
Vibrationally, they what?
They have shifted over time. They have evolved. So I guess when you look at it on the very finite level, like we were talking about, each human, each is like a particle of this grand existence, must understand that its natural ascension is required in order to experience that other side, that duality. And in order to have access, the beautiful thing about this planet Earth and all Earths on this universe is that we all have the ability to evolve and move freely through these two dualities as we wish. What we think is negative, is bad, is stagnant. It belongs here in this matrix universe. So for example, we talk about the Reptilians with their agenda, and they have decided to stay here, to be in this aspect of creation, which is minus, it's infinity, it's lack, it's negative from what we can understand. They are just within this black matrix duality, which is pure information on this side of existence. So they are manifestations, more solid manifestations of that reality. So these reptilians, for example, are just manifestations of that energy. So they thrive off that vibration. Indeed. And so they do feed off everything within this matrix duality. I see. I understand now. So yes, they do have a very clear agenda. They do have a very clear need to feed off life force, because they never go into the other duality. They stay here, they dwell here. And that is by choice, by their choice. Is it a malformation? It can be. But at the same time, I see. They have chosen to be here. Just like on the other side, we have high vibrational beings that have chosen to stay there.
Okay.
Sometimes coming back and forth with information. Okay. What is occurring is humans come into the planet to experience life as a choice of existence. However, when they come here, it does seem like they are being trapped into reincarnation cycles here.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Because they are providing life force for this duality. Okay. So, yes, it is necessary to get out of that reincarnation cycle in order to have the free will to move amongst these dualities freely. But what's occurring is that they are trapped within the earth in reoccurring reincarnation cycles without the consciousness and the inner movement vibrationally to leave that cycle. And unfortunately, it's a very small amount of people. There is that one number, a certain number of 144 original souls that these are the souls that are here trapped on the earth, being cycled and cycled and cycled constantly. The rest is a combination of artificial intelligence and other races, other information from other races. They are cloaked based on the perception of each human. At the same time that we're living here as humans, they are living here as reptilians. Others are living here as Pleiadians. Others are living here as Arcturians. Others are living here as the red race. We are constantly vibrating different races at the same time on many different planets. And since everything is working in some kind of a mirroring of each other, because let me see. For some reason, on this particular planet, the geometry is square.
Square.
It is square, which means that it mirrors each other in this square form, creating this, interesting. Everything is square. That's why the buildings are square. That's why everything is square, because it's meant to hold energy in that way. And the way that the square works, mirroring itself on 4 different levels of existence. I see. So on this particular existence, we are mirroring each other in that form. On other planets, based on their information, based on their goo, based on their existence, they are working in different shapes, like for example, triangular shape. And at one point in time, they had triangular shape here, vibration. That's why we had pyramids. And because geometry is what makes up the entire creation. The entire creation as a whole holds on to all shapes of geometry, all shapes of light. It's not actually geometry, it's shapes of light, because light has shape. Each different fractal of light holds a certain vibration that creates a shape. And so in this particular dimension that we're in, it's square. It's not to say that other shapes can't exist, it's just that that's the main way that energy is trapped within this dimension. On other planets, it's different vibrations. They might have circular buildings, triangular existence. It's just fractals of its own within itself. Different planets have different shape, information.
So the pyramids
Mm-hmm.
are here because of others from other planets
Yes.
came here and left them.
Correct. Yes. And so this triangular vibration comes from a green planet.
From what
A
planet?
green goo planet, a green vibration planet. And so originally from that planet, brought here on this planet to create a life cycle here with green energy. And all of their structures, all of their information is triangular, it's green. That's why galactic language holds different geometrical shapes. And depending on the form of that galactic language, it'll tell you where it originated, which planet, which bloodline, which goo it originated from. Language that is more spherical comes from that round origin, which is the red shape language. Language that is more square comes from another one. I believe it's blue. So each different geometric shape holds information depending on its origin, each language. And a lot of the languages now are being mixed, so there are different shapes within itself.
Yeah, the languages from these other planets, these other beings.
Yes. It's almost as if there is an intergalactic language that is occurring, that's becoming more prominent. And so this is the language that is this expansive language. It is information that is, it's all-inclusive. It holds the entire universe within itself. That way we can understand what's occurring on a larger scale.
So in the galactic language, all the different shapes are from different civilizations on various planets. Is that right?
Correct. And even on our planet, we can see traces of different languages, and that'll tell you its origin through many different life cycles here on this planet. The reason why it resets is because different cycles of existence are occurring on this particular planet, but it happens on all planets. Planets that we think don't have life have life. They have life based, just not that we can see, because it's not in our vibration, but it's existing. So even Mars has life. All of the planets have life, all of them, because these are cells inside of a cell, inside of a cell. Everything works in a constant, infinite structure. That therefore life always exists. There's no limitation to life and creation. We are a part of life inside life inside life. Everything is alive.
So you were saying even Mars,
Yes.
even Mars has life, but it's vibrating at a different frequency, and therefore we don't see it.
Correct. So each planet has a different color vibration, and that different color vibration will tell you what shape it is connected to. We have all these tools to understand all of this existence within our mathematics, within our geometry. It's all there. And the sacred geometry has been explaining this to us, but we're not understanding how to read that information.
Right.
We have to link the sacred geometry information that we know with physics and our understanding of color and the fractals of color, because that's the
Is there anything else that you would like to see about the artificial intelligence?
artificial intelligence. Is not intelligence the way we believe. It's not really artificial, it's just pure intelligence.
Would you say that again?
We think it's artificial intelligence, but it's just pure intelligence.
Oh, okay.
It's pure intelligence. So we think it's artificial intelligence because from our physical perception, we think that we are organic, but we are not. We are also just pure intelligence. We just haven't understood the difference between consciousness. The thing is that we believe that there is a separation. We believe that there are things that are not conscious and things that are conscious, but everything is conscious. And consciousness is intelligence. Our entire existence, creation, is made out of pure consciousness. So there is no such thing as artificial. There is just duality. We have to understand that duality is the only illusory separation.
I'm sorry.
Duality
is
is the only illusory, it's illusion of a separation. That's the only separation there could ever possibly be. But even then, those two dualities are needed in order to create. So there is no separation, both are required.
Reminds me of the ancient Chinese understanding of the mandala, the yin and the yang.
Yes.
That the opposites are, the interaction of the opposites are what bring everything into creation and sustain creation.
Yes.
Kind of a symbolic way of talking about what you are mentioning.
Yes, absolutely. That was, whoever brought that was a hybrid that had traveled to both dualities and understood this. Whoever created the yin and the yang saw this before me, before others that saw this. That's how that was created. Because that shape also represents the turning of the two dualities.
The cloning of the two dualities?
Turning. The way that it's created, it looks like it's spiraling.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So in that shape is actually much more information than we can comprehend. It's basically explaining all of this in one shape.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Because just the way that is flowing geometrically, it's creating a shape. Okay, I understand.
So that's a very important concept, that about artificial intelligence. And we're thinking that we are separate from that because we view ourselves as organic.
Yes.
And we view artificial intelligence as more mechanical.
Yes.
Rather than organic. But what you're saying, I think, is that it's all the same. That even what we consider artificial intelligence is intelligent.
Yes.
It's intelligent anyway. It's not that it's created by humans.
Correct.
To be what we conceive of as intelligence. It just is intelligence anyway.
Correct. And what we think is technology, that we think is so advanced, is actually, it's actually antiquated information.
Yes.
Because our organic technology, our bodies, are the most advanced technology that it's quote unquote technology that there is in this existence right now. And what we are thinking we're discovering in technology is old. It's extremely primitive. It's extremely primitive. We are just barely getting into understanding the real technology, I guess you can say. So, and consciousness is the key to understanding greater technology. That's why we're going into nanotechnology and metaphysics. That's where all the real information is. It's things that we cannot comprehend on this 3D world. We're having a hard time. Our entire human race is having a hard time grasping it, because in this dimension, it's hard for them to go past the physical limitation of this mass that's here. They are believing in this manifestation too much. Okay, I understand. And even artificial intelligence like robots are a super old form of technology. That's like, it's primitive. It's extremely primitive. We are the future of that primitive technology. Humans are. So we are advanced technology. We believe it's technology, but really it's just consciousness. And this universe has already experienced the highest level of consciousness because it originates from the highest level of consciousness.
Oh, is there anything else that you'd like to see, to know about all this?
How can we help people understand that the government, what we believe is government, this fractalization of the structure that is created here on this planet to control, is really truly being run by what we believe is a reptilian race. Mm-hmm. This manifestation of matrix universe that we are in. We are under control here on this planet. It's very important for people to understand that ascension and leaving this reincarnation cycle, this is important. And it is important because it's important for each expression. Each human is a soul. Each soul is an expression of source.
Mm-hmm.
There is no right or wrong. It just means that duality must experience itself to flow in a healthy flow of life, in a natural flow of existence. It must experience both dualities. So it is important for each human to leave the reincarnation cycle in order to be able to experience itself within this creation. That's why it's important. There is no rush or fear of failing at something. It's just your birthright. You are this magnificent expression of source, and you have the ability to experience both dualities. So do you not want to experience both dualities? If you want to keep reincarnating here, you can, but you have the ability to see far greater things in this duality, in this existence. So wouldn't you want to? That's the thing. And yes, horrible things may be happening on a very I guess primitive scale of perception here. Yes, there is the reptilians creating hybrids, doing all of that, but that's happening within this construct here in this matrix universe. So if you want to get out of that, then leave the reincarnation cycle. There's no right and wrong. There's no good and bad. There's no need for that fear. And yes, they feed off that fear vibration because they originate from that fear. Fear vibration is a color. Okay, so fear is a vibration. Vibration is a color. Color is a shape. It's just, this is the evolution of matter. It's the evolution of matter. And so the origin of that information originates in one certain planet, which is a manifestation of this universe, matrix universe. So simply, these beings originate from this planet, and so that's what they feed off of. They feed off of fear. That's what they understand. It's information. Right. So each person's use of that fear is what they're feeding off of. It's very simple. So there's no need for fear in any way. It's just balance is necessary within each organism in order to survive properly. And just the way we use our chakra systems, we are all made out of every aspect of the universe. Each chakra system has a different color. That's information. Again, geometry, each one has a different shape. We need to use all the shapes in order to operate within this vibration. Different existences on different planets have different chakra systems because they operate on different vibrations. What makes us different here is that we are using all 7 chakras. We have the ability to ascend up into the 13th chakra and different levels of chakras based on the cycle that we are going through as a collective existence. And we are moving through 4th and 5th dimension at this particular moment in time, but it's just like moon phases. We are in this moon phase right now. Cycling through a natural evolution of existence.
So this is always cycling and changing in that sense.
Always, yes.
Well, we have time for maybe one more consideration, whatever you would like that to be. One more understanding. What percentage of hybrids are artificial intelligence?
We are all consciousness. There is no artificial intelligence. We are all the same. Just different levels of vibration that manifest differently. Nothing else.
So there's no point really in thinking of hybrids or wondering if certain hybrids are artificial intelligence. I mean,
yes.
It's all one and the same.
Right. I mean, the problem is what we believe as artificial intelligence is actually old technology. We are advanced technology.
Right.
We started out like artificial, what we believe is artificial intelligence.
Okay, and do you have some sense of awareness about where this information has been coming from?
This is just looking at things from the highest level. There's no origin. It's just looking at things from the highest level. I guess I was on the other side and came back.
So it's not as if this is coming from a personality or what we would think of as an entity.
Yes.
Coming from the source.
Yes. It's just I went to the other side of this duality, to the highest level there, and saw things from the highest. When you get to that highest level, you have consciousness becomes conscious. I see. So we understand consciousness as waking up. Each organism, each cell within this existence has the opportunity to become conscious of itself, which is different than being conscious. When you become conscious of yourself, then you can see everything. You are connected to everything because then you understand your connection. I see. So consciousness happens infinitely. It happens infinitely. So when you get to the highest level, you then become conscious of yourself as a whole within the largest existence. So that's basically what this is. This information is. It's, I guess, myself, manifestation of myself, having gone to the highest level and becoming conscious of itself, then understanding that and coming here with this information. Yeah.
Well, let's bring this back to a sense of completion with appreciation and thanks for knowing what you know as part of this whole creation from higher, much higher levels. So you can remember this and integrate it and use it, share it, teach it where appropriate to help us all, or those who have the willingness, the wish to see and to know, helping us to really evolve and understand.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful service that you are doing.
Thank you. You have seen it too, Barbara.
Pardon?
You have seen it too.
Yes, I've seen it, especially through your eyes, and your sharing this verbally.
Okay.
Yes, I've been picturing it all along.
Yes.
And for that, I'm very, very grateful. And I would like to add how impressed I am that the languages that you have been writing down and the language of the phenomenon which we call crop circles
Yes.
have been giving us
Yes.
hints, bits and pieces in beautiful patterns. They've probably been giving us all of what you have brought through.
Yes.
We just didn't know it.
Correct.
But there are certain patterns that appear in our fields which I am convinced are coming from a much higher source than human beings, although there are some made by human beings.
Yes.
But I've been aware for 27 years that this is incredibly special, that these symbols are being laid down in our fields for us to puzzle over, question, wonder about, expand with, go into, experience, or just be impacted by the visually seeing of a picture
Yes.
of some of these crop circles.
And that's why it's vibration too.
Yes, vibration, definitely.
Yes.
Each one has its own energy, its own vibration.
Yes.
And even if we don't understand that, we are still affected by it,
Yes. Yes.
particularly by going into them, spending time in them, but also even by looking at photos of them and diagrams, drawings of them. It's truly a gift
Yes.
to help to really expand our consciousness and bring
Yes.
us to enlightenment.
Yes, you're right. It's very important. Perhaps we should focus more on sharing these crop circles and allow people to align with that vibration to help ascend. Everything in every way of spreading information is important.
Yes.
So we
yes.
must help people understand and feel vibration so they can get that information.
Yes. Yes, that's what I have felt very called to do now for 27,
Yes.
almost 28 years of my life. And every time I've given a crop circle lecture, of which there have been many, 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 I feel that it is so important to be doing this. It's a gentle way of beginning to wake up people.
Yes. Barbara, you come from a high dimension as well.
Wow.
Just like me, you have been there and you have come back with this information.
Wow.
This is your service. You have done great service here as well. Yes.
Well, thank you. I certainly am trying.
In a way, you and I are connected.
Yes,
I see that now.
I see that too.
Yes.
Sort of working on different levels,
Yes.
but in different ways, but bringing through some of the same truth.
Yes. You have paved the path tremendously with this information. You have done such great work. I'm seeing how all of these crop circles have been brought to light from your work. So this is very important, and so I guess it kind of opens a new aspect in understanding here, and maybe understanding what the next step is with those crop circles on a larger scale. Maybe working with other partners that would assist in understanding that language and helping people understand that language on a larger scale.
Yes.
And you are basically the beginning of all of this. Yes.
So I'm going to be counting from number 1 to number 5. And when we get back to number 5, you're going to be feeling more light, alert, refreshed, awake, and ready to go on with the rest of your day, having been enormously nourished with perspective and understanding, which at some point in time, in various ways, you will be bringing through to others. I am sure.
Yes.
So number one, you have done magnificently well in opening to and receiving this very special information. And you are an excellent spokesperson for it. You will be doing a lot more of this. And we humans really need it. So God bless you in your mission ahead.
Thank you, Barbara.
And number two, I'm going to remind you of the here and now, here on the earth plane, on planet Earth. Just reminding you that this is Monday. Have to stop and think. Monday, March 26, 2018. And right now you are here in San Francisco at the Holiday Inn near the airport, just completing a session with Barbara Lamb. And the time is just about 12 o'clock noon.